Hey YouTube, St. Frank here. This week's episode of Hobby Talk, I wanted to talk about a subject I've been doing a little looking into here and watching some other people's videos here recently and trying to figure out, with grading starting to open up a little bit with the grading companies like PSA. They've been having these events where you can send in cards for $50 to get graded. So the doors are being cracked open a little bit again for grading cards. And as the massive backlog of cards getting graded starts becoming evident, and you look at pop reports and stuff, should you grade base cards? And if you should grade any, which one should you grade? Well, first of all, I say if you want to grade a card, you go for it. There's nothing wrong. If you want to grade a card, that's your choice. I'm not saying you shouldn't grade it. What I'm saying is, don't be shocked if you're grading a card that has been made from 2018 or newer, that card is not going to hold its value very well if you're interested in values. So just as an example, like here's an awesome card. It's Joe Burrow. This is a 2020 Select Joe Burrow, but it's just a base Select card. I think it is the club level even. But so this is actually a poor example. But even this card, they made so many different parallels and stuff in Select. I don't even know which ones are going to end up being good, but supposedly something like this would be a little bit better than just the regular base Joe Burrow rookie. But I'm not going to spend $50 to grade this. I might grade it when I can grade it cheaply, but I have to sit back and expect that the pop reports in this card are going to be astronomical. Here's another example. This is a better example because here's a Juan DeFranco. Now, I bought the Rays and a few case breaks back in 2019 because I wanted Juan DeFranco cards. I never did get an auto, which is what I was really wanting, but I ended up with a lot of Bowman Chromes and Bowman Papers of his cards, and I've slowly started to grade some. But this card's pop is going to be astronomical because everyone that has this card, not even everyone that has this card, he's just barely getting his career started, and his pop reports on this card are already super high. This is a 2019 card, and one of the reasons why it's so high is because everybody's been grading stuff. They knew this guy's going to be a really good player. He was #1 prospect. He's already proving it in the big leagues, so the number of his cards just continue to rise on the pop report. But also, they make way more product here the last 3 or 4 years than they did in the old days. So base cards from these newer sets are just going to be massively produced. Here's another good example. Moran having an unbelievable year. I have this card. I picked it up. Would like to get it graded. I bought it before he kind of blew up this year, so I only have a couple bucks into the card. But, this card is just a base card. It is a rookie card, but the pop report on it is growing and growing and growing, and by the time I get it graded, it's probably not going to be worth a lot, even him having a monster year. It's just when the pop reports get so high, the card values just can't hold up like they were before. Here's another card that I fear is going to be graded into oblivion. Oh wait, you know what? This is a pro debut. So this is actually another very bad example of mine. But if you have the 2022 Topps Bobby Witt Jr.'s, which will be his rookie year cards, I don't know if he's in the set. They may be holding him out. Topps has been doing that lately. But if you do get those, his regular base cards are going to be massively overgraded, I think, and he'll have a huge pop report. So just imagine this being a 2022 rookie card, just a base. This is actually I think this is not a terrible card to grade because it is his pro debut, and not a lot of people get into that set. So this is it'll be a low pop card, I imagine. So if you don't want to grade the base card or buy a base card, what should you buy? You should buy parallels. And what I mean by parallel is something like this. It's like this is the base 2018 Shohei Ohtani rookie card from Allen Ginter. Great looking card. This is a parallel. This is from a hot box. And just knowing the product, there were 11 just regular hobby boxes to every one hot box. You're not guaranteed to get every player in a hot box, so basically these are 11 times more easier to pull than the hot box parallel. So naturally, a hot box parallel would be something that is going to hold its value a lot more and probably rise up faster over time than just the base card. So that's what I mean by parallel. And here's another example of a parallel. This is a great card. Jared Kelnick, first Bowman. I looked through my Bowman Chromes I had from that year, and I was very happy that I did have a refractor of him. See how the background is extra shiny? That's called a refractor. His base regular Bowman Chrome is just the shiny chrome finish, not the refractor finish. These are much tougher to pull than the regular chrome. So this is a parallel and will definitely always be worth more than the base card will be. And this is 2018, so this is part of that era when Topps really upped the production of things. So what type of base cards might be okay to grade, or maybe more safe to grade and not just plummet when pop reports explode? Well, I think, and what I've been seeing brought out online, is that some of these sets before 2018 were way less produced, and you can tell that in the pop reports. And plus, people buy stuff nowadays to grade. Back in 2015, 16, around there and earlier, people weren't buying stuff to grade. So a lot of people just tossed out their base cards, which I always think is crazy. But there was a lot of breakers that wouldn't even give you the base cards, which I refused to use those breakers because I wanted all my cards. But base cards were not really revered as much as they are now. And I think GOAT type players, now we're getting to Sandy Frank speculating mode. GOAT type players from earlier than 2018, I think, are pretty safe bets to be okay to grade, because I don't think the pop reports are going to go up. People haven't been grading them here in this big boom, and now that this boom is kind of we're getting past the big boom of the grading, the huge back order of backlog of cards getting graded. People aren't going to be going back in time and grading older base cards. I just don't think the pop reports aren't going to go up very much. So I've been digging through some old football cards, and I found these awesome old Tom Brady's. I say old. This is 2016. This is 2016. But really nice on cards and super low pops on these. Here's a 2015 Tom Brady. And as soon as the grading costs come down a little bit, I'm going to concentrate on grading stuff like this as far as base cards. Probably won't grade a lot of... I will definitely, though, grade like my Ohtanis and stuff like that. Like, here's a LeBron. This is 2014 Panini Prism. Beautiful card. It's going to be super low pop, even though it's just a base card. Also have a Tom Brady from that same year as well, 2014. So, but these are GOATs. LeBron and Tom Brady, guaranteed Hall of Famers, guaranteed top for years and years from now. They're going to be some of the top players to ever play in their sports. And these are going to be low pop cards always, because they didn't really make that much of this stuff back then. Card collecting wasn't as big of a thing as it is now, where now these sets, they just pump out. The graphic I saw was 10 times as much product is being made of sets today than they were back, just pre-19 or 2018. So the card collecting market has exploded. Go if you want stuff that's going to be, and this stuff's fun to look at. The card qualities were really great back then too, I think. Great looking cards. Got plenty of great players to pick out of, including some of the all-time greats. And if you want to grade newer stuff or collect newer stuff, I would go with parallels. And not ridiculous parallels like from 2020 Select, where they have 80 different parallels. I'm talking about, like, Ginter is a good example. There was one-of-ones, the regular cards, and hotbox cards. They didn't have a million different parallels. Bowman Chrome is getting worse, but like back here when this set came out, there was, your base Chrome, refractor Chrome, and then maybe, I don't know, maybe 10 other parallels, which is still wacky, but not nearly as crazy as what's going to be in 2020. And they even showed a graphic. It was Scotty B. I don't know if you ever checked out his channel, Scotty B's Cards. He showed a graphic of all the different 2021 Joe Adell cards that exist, using the exact same image, but from all the different sets, Chrome, base, opening, all these different tops, like base type sets that use the exact same image. There was, like, I swear, 60 or 70 different cards of Joe Adell rookie. And then, and that's of all the parallels, the superfractors, everything. And there was, like, an unbelievable number of one-of-ones of that image, because, like, there's a one-of-one, there's probably several versions of one-of-ones. Just parallels have gotten out of control, and like the guy said, it waters down the product, dilutes it. So these older sets, they didn't do that, and there's some great cards in those sets, and they were way less produced, way less parallels. Just now it's all about parallels to try to make things look like everything's low numbered. And who knows, if this trend continues, it might be good to collect base cards again, because there won't be as many of the base cards as all the parallels. I've thought about that at times too. So anyway, what do you guys think? Do you like to collect cards from previous years? Do you like collecting cards? Well, mostly talking about base cards here in this video. Do you like collecting base cards of the modern sets? One thing is for sure, you can definitely more afford graded cards of base graded cards nowadays, which is great if you're buying slabs. I've been very tempted to pick up some players, but I'm going to keep an eye out, because PSA is still working through a huge backlog. So there's a lot more cards that are going to be coming back onto the market between now and then. So prices on stuff like this, recent base type cards, are going to continue to drop as these pop reports just explode. So anyway, stay tuned for more videos, guys. Hopefully you've been able to get in some of these cheaper grading rates. I actually got into 2 of them. They were both in the same week, so maybe a lot of people were not trying to get on that week when I did it. So I actually fired off 2 5-card economy submissions, and I'll have videos of those when I get those orders back, and show you what I sent, and show you what the grades were and the returns. Sent off some really cool cards, so they had to be really good cards for me to spend $50 to get graded, I'll tell you. Anyway, stay tuned for more videos. Later.